And the Eagles, I think, are now entering a zone where I think it's going to be
Cool.
like uncomfortable, where like anything
The
less than a Super Bowl
expectations.
championship, like they're going to be maybe
They have to
crushed by
make
the
the
weight
game
of these
next year. You
expectations.
have to make the game next year.
Or it's a
Yeah.
failure.
Yeah.
Or it's a failure.
You can
Especially in
lose the
that
Super Bowl
market.
again, but like you have, like, if you lose to that guy again, whatever, you got to make. I mean, we're about to do the market. We're going to do the NFC. I mean, my God, like what? I haven't seen conference. So Whale said he was able to bet some Jacksonville. I like looked for a conference in a few places because it's so much more interesting. And people would be like, "Well, it's here. It's here. Great. If it's up, great." What is? And I don't even care what the Eagles are right now. What is the true price for the Eagles to win the NFC next year? If Rodgers gets traded, and we'll do the odds in a second. If Rodgers is traded, and Lamar is not traded to the NFC, like let's say he stays with Baltimore and gets franchise tagged, but and like plays it out. Like tell me, I'm all ears on this one. Like tell me who the teams are in a playoff game that you'd be like, I want that team against the Eagles in a playoff game, even if they have to redo the roster, obviously, even if they can't keep everybody.
The fourth or the third and the sixth seeds in the NFC this past year, the Vikings and the Giants are both 40-1 right now. The Vikings won 13 games.
500-1. Yeah.
I honestly, like, pick one team to win the Super Bowl. Who has more of a chance? Giants, easily. And like, I don't think either team's going to win. Also, like, I'm hoping, and I don't think we're going to get the chance to. I can't wait to bet an under Minnesota win total next year. We're probably not going to get the opportunity to because it's going to be a short.
What do you think?
It's probably right.
Yeah, I mean the market's too smart on this stuff now. Like the market understands point differential and understands that like teams that play what is it 9 or is it okay? It's so it can be 9. It can be 9 because Rodgers is going to get traded, so it's going to be like at least 9. So maybe that's your entry point. Rodgers gets traded 9.5 because the division's weaker.
Oh, 9.5 under for sure.
And over on the Packers at whatever number for like my blood. Yeah. In the NFC, man, it kind of feels like there's like a ton of wiggle room here. Now maybe it's moot because like the Eagles are gonna just like be such a big favorite. Like you can never get the favorite in the conference. Like the Eagles are probably gonna be the favorite, and that's gonna be it. Or if the Niners got really good quarterback news, then like the Niners could be the co-favorites with the Eagles or something. But if we're looking for like price drops, Atlanta was an interesting one that you mentioned, obviously completely contingent on quarterback. Like I mean, it's Lamar and the price drops or it's not, and who cares? I pitched this to someone earlier and I got laughed at. What is the Chicago Bears price to win the NFC right now?
I have them circled 66.
Give me a percentage chance that on June 15th the price is 100. Less than 66.
100.
Maybe it's not 100, but it's like really close to 100, I think.
It's not.
Like, okay, so like what is news and information that is likely to happen going forward? The star quarterback of their division is very likely to be traded out of the division. So the price is immediately going to improve when that happens. That's one piece of news that's like going to happen almost, that immediately changes their price. And again, this isn't, oh, well, I don't like the Bears, Fields, whatever. This is not, you want route A. You want you're on the wrong road. You want the other road. So this one is just what price is going to go down. Rodgers gets traded. They have infinity dollars to spend in free agency. They have the number 1 pick in the draft. These are all things which could cause a price drop. Like, it's just, I mean, like, because it's either we'll see what they do with the number 1 pick. If they trade it for a ton of picks, the Jets got an insane price boost off of their 4 first-round pick draft last year, and people didn't even know they nailed the picks yet. Like, they had no idea.
And they also have infinity dollars also.
Yes. It's so just like the amount of money to spend in free agency.
Even if Rodgers stays, I still feel like the price is going to drop. But
like,
you do a good job mentioning it, of course.
Right. Absolutely. It helps a lot if Rodgers gets traded because it's like,
I'm just trying to support your point that even if he doesn't, I still feel like you're right.
So here's one of the ridiculous, possibly stupid sentences that'll be said in the NFL offseason show. I think the time to bet the Bears in the futures markets is right now. I actually think that's the time to bet them.
It's just, I agree with you. It's just the
team
sentence.
That can't win. The team that like actually probably can't. But to be fair, I'm going to try to do this with a straight face. Is it so crazy that the Bears can be the Eagles next year? Is it like so crazy? They don't have to be the same. Just like a team that wins a
Yeah.
lot of regular season games, that's
Yes.
rated really highly, with a quarterback that takes a big step forward, and a coach that might be really good going into year 2. Like, all of these things are true. They're not going to be as good as Philly because they're not like as good in the trenches as Philly's not light years better in the trenches than the Bears are ever going to be. But just like price drop, Rodgers gets traded, you get a bunch of free agents, and you take Carter or Will Anderson, or you traded for a ton of picks, and you still make a bunch of picks in the draft. I think that's like the number one price that I think is likely to go down.
I like it. And like well,
but down to what? Down to what is the thing? Like 66. Okay, they're 50. Well, I was right, I guess. Yeah.
You bet with Nick and Ken talking Super Bowl 58 odds. I had the Bears circled. I think like Tom Brady retiring remove some fun from this conversation, because it feels like there are two quarterback, unless like you think you're like a member of the Carr family and you think like Derek Carr is a difference maker, because he's not. It's Lamar and it's Rodgers. Just for bleeps and giggles here, Ken. Well, unless like maybe Geno Smith like leaves Seattle. Like if like let's say Geno Smith signs with the Tampa Bay.
Is he the second best quarterback in the conference?
No.
Stafford.
Yeah, but I mean, like, who would you rather have, Goff or Geno? What a question.
I'd rather have Geno Smith than Goff, for sure. Would you rather have Geno or Dak? Yeah, I'd probably rather have Dak.
I have Greg Rosenthal, who writes for NFL.com and hosts NFL.com's Around the NFL podcast, one of the hosts of it. I really respect his NFL knowledge. I have his top 51 free agents of 2023 open here that he published in December, and there have been editors' updates. So Lamar is number 1. We'll see if Lamar ever hits the market. Roquan Smith was 2. He's off the market. He got signed to the long-term deal by the Ravens. Geno's 3. 4, Javon Hargrave. 5, Orlando Brown of the Chiefs. Brady was 6. He retired. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and James Bradbury are 7 and 8, both of the Eagles. Saquon Barkley 9, Daron Payne 10, Jesse Bates, Bengals safety 11, Odell Beckham 12. The point of Daniel Jones 14, who's likely going back to the Giants. The point of this is that I don't think there's going to be a free agent acquisition outside of like Lamar if he leaves Baltimore, or Geno maybe going to the right spot. Like, we're not going to get that. Like, it's Rodgers
like
and it's
Kevin,
Lamar.
Like Kevin Durant to the Suns. Like, you're not going to get the Kevin Durant to the Suns kind of thing, right?
Like, it's not happening this year. Now, like, the Bears could sign like 5 of those guys, and that's a Bears conversation. But I don't know if we're going to get like that like seismic move in free agency that's going to make us go, oh my God. Now, Rodgers could be that, obviously, and Lamar could potentially be that. We'll see. But that's it, though. Like, that's it. Like, Brady retiring takes like a huge piece off the board.